Well, it's May 31st, and the summer garden is well on its way. As a matter of fact, it's about 98% done. A couple minor details. As you can see, I've gone with the trellises. I've got three of them. Three trellises this year. One here for sweet potatoes. You got one over there, which is going to be for the bitter melons. And you got one right over there. That's for sweet potato leaves. Sweet potatoes in the bottom are going to grow right up there. And here we have this magnificent fennel. It's twice the size that it was last year at this time. Last year, second year, it was short of 8 feet by a couple inches. It's already at 6 feet. These are two 8-foot posts that have been banged down, and you can see here, and I've measured it. That post is 6 feet, and we got this one right here. It's clearly at 6, and a variety of heights after that, of course. Anywhere between 5 and 6. You got several that are at 6.5 or 5.5 feet already. So that's a solid 5.5 to 6 feet right here. Hey, very beautiful. I didn't realize how beautiful fennels were until I had one that actually grew into a giant. Okay, and did well. Fantastic plant. So these right here are your Japanese purple potatoes, okay? You have to purchase the sprouts online, like on eBay, from somebody that's selling just the sprouts, not the actual potatoes, because of a weevil problem I think they have. So you don't have a problem with weevils if all you do is buy the leaves and the plant growing, okay? So I bought a few on eBay. This one here was in the front yard for quite a number of years. It eked out a living out there, did okay, but it's much happier. It stayed there for a year in that location, so I moved it here in March. In the front yard, I had a fennel and one of these right next to each other, and honeybees were all over this one year, and they never bothered, they never messed with this fennel plant, okay? But last year, there was just bees all over the thing, honeybees, and it sounded like a beehive. It was a virtual, I mean, you thought there was a hive in there. So we're going to see what happens this year. Are they going to be over both? Are they going to be over both plants this year? Okay. Going to be interesting. And then, of course, over here we got I think we have 16 okra plants. All right, so you're going to get a lot out of 16. I planted 27 last year. I ended up weeding them down to like 10. It's like I was dreaming. 27 over here, okay. And we have this friendly cat next door. Just can't, every now and then he visits, and there you go, okay. But this bed here is about 20 feet tall. 20 feet. 20 feet. It's about 20 feet long and 6 feet approximately wide. Okay, you got about 6 feet of space there to work with. So it's 120 square feet here. Raised bed, as you can see. And I also do essentially a no-till type of gardening here, which is good. Turning soil over and stuff, that's the back line here is looking awesome. Last year, I'd eaten so many of these stalks that there were no seeds, and yet every year it reseeded itself, and it was growing like crazy. There was a patch, of course, that I left behind, even though I ripped a lot up. Every year I used to rip it up complete and plant all new seed, the whole thing. I'm not going to do it anymore. So you got a first year here. Of course, this is where the oregano came from. And these are a mix of second and first year. So you keep watering it, you keep getting pretty good parsley, even through the hot summer. And throughout the garden, I planted beets this year. They're all over the place. Okay, so I did beets. And this right here I took from Connecticut. The house that I lived in for 12 years, that I owned, had so many tiger lilies when I first bought it. It was incredible. I was giving them away by the contractor bags. There were so many that I dug up. So, anyways, I took a couple with me when I left in 2013. So, little piece of history there. Lots of Swiss chard. But you can see it's going to be quite beautiful. When this all gets going and you have you have 3 trellises and all these climbing things, yeah, it's going to be I cut back a whole lot. I only have two tomatoes this year. I've been planting at least 3 or maybe even more, depending on what I was growing that year. But down to 2. So that's a lot less maintenance there with the tomatoes. Not doing anything on no fence gardening this year. First year in a long time, no fence gardening at all. Only 1 pot. Okay, been doing 2. And that's a fairly maintenance-free. I mean, compared to having something like eggplants, which is what I had been growing in a pot or trying, it's just so high maintenance compared to what we're looking at there with the vine. But this is going to be one beautiful yard. Give it another month, 6 weeks. It's going to be something else. It really is, with these trellises.